Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX vs. ATV All Out, where today we are going to be doing the Pro SX 250 East Championship, I guess rounds 1 through 4, or maybe 5. We'll see. I think there's 9 rounds in this series. And starting off with Arlington, which I think I've played before. I'm pretty sure I've played all the tracks, actually, but it's been a little bit since I've played them all, so I might be a tiny bit rusty, but we're gonna go ahead and just wing it. And on the KXF, or KX250F I should say today, for this video. Oh, got the whole shot and immediately went off the track. And still playing against the Brop riders that I created, which are all on 450s, so this should be pretty interesting to see if they're still tough as they were in the West Championship that I wrapped up the title in the last video, if you didn't watch that one. And these guys are on all-time difficulty, so they should be pretty challenging to say the least. Oh, actually, you know what? Arlington, I don't know why I didn't remember this. This was the track that MX vs. ATV, or I guess Rainbow Studios, they released a video on early access gameplay. So this is one of the tracks that we very first saw in the game. And yeah, now I remember that. That makes a little bit more sense. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I know this track. Holy cow, Justin Barsha going in for the kill over there. Got to run down Eli Tomac for the lead. Basically with my teammate right now, because the Brop rider that I created has pretty much the same exact graphics that I have on this bike. Although, of course, I'm not going to be able to catch him to show that off. Obviously, Tomac though has like A-Stars gear, and there's no, well, there is Bell helmets. Actually, he is wearing the same helmet I am, and then he would be wearing Alpine Stars boots too. Yep, just talking through my Brop riders. Whip. Just barely got over that. Yeah, the last couple videos that I did in 250 West Supercross, it was pretty easy to finish on the podium, I must say. Like, it was just pretty, I don't know, easier than it should be, I feel, to just get into the top 3, no problem. Like, right now, Tomac's making it difficult to win the race, but, I mean, I have zero pressure from behind to get past. And I'd imagine that at some point it's going to slowly come back to me. Mr. Tomac will. Too long. Thought I could quad onto that thing. Alright, come here. Gonna get Mr. Eli Tomac, who's been absolutely slaying it in the outdoors lately. Tomac is unreal, man, I'll tell you. He puts in some very James Stewart-esque rides on occasion now, and you're kind of like, man, what in the heck? That guy had his spinach for breakfast. And like, not knocking Tomac, but I don't feel like that was like the Tomac you used to see on 250s even. He was good, really good on a 250F, but I don't remember him being like head and shoulders above everybody else where he could crash and still win races like he is now. Kind of flip the script, it seems, on 450s. But he's a beast. Can't wait for Motocross the Nations. See him hopefully on the team and facing off against probably Jeffrey Hurlings, but anybody from Europe, Cairoli, Dassault, anybody that gives a challenge. It's going to be awesome to see. And of course, I'll be there, which I've talked about in other videos before, but why not mention it in this one in case you don't watch those other videos. If you're going to be at Motocross Nations, try to find me. Let's see, do we want to go up or down? Minneapolis or Atlanta, then Indy, and then East Rutherford and Vegas. So we'll save those for last. We'll go up this way first. One thing that they are missing from the Supercross tracks in this game that I wish that they would have tried to do some replica of is a Daytona replica. Maybe you don't call it Daytona, maybe you call it like Charlotte, for example, like Charlotte Motor Speedway, but just build it into a NASCAR track. I think that'd be kind of cool, although I don't know. legality wise, if they would have gotten in too much trouble for doing that or what have you. And then this track here, Minneapolis, is a track that, if you remember, it's been 3-4 months ago now, I did a comparison video on this track and a custom track I had made in Monster Energy Supercross, the game. Excuse me. Of what the gameplay looked like in this game versus Monster Energy Supercross, the game. And that video was pretty well received, and a lot of you lovely viewers out there tend to ask me, if I had $60, what game am I going to buy? And my answer overwhelmingly is, well, I have $120, so I'm going to buy both, which is obviously what I did. But that video, I feel like, was a pretty good comparison to show you, well, what are you looking for in a gameplay video? Are you looking for, or in a game to play, I should say? Are you looking for just raw fun, big whips and tricks that you can do and stuff like that? Because MX's ATV All Out, I feel, accomplishes that. You can do those tricks, and you have the free air physics, and I feel like the realness of it is lacking, but the freedom of the game kind of makes up for the lack of realism, I suppose. Whereas a Monster Energy Supercross, or now MXGP Pro, is the complete opposite. You don't have the great air physics, you don't have the tricks and free roam ability that you have in this game. But it's I feel a little bit more realistic in terms of gravity and corner speed and other things that you look for in a motocross video game. And again, it's just which side of the spectrum you fall on. Which of those two games are you looking for as a motocross fan? I went through a phase there for a while where I was looking for the most realistic experience I could possibly find. So I dove into the MX Simulator and the MX Bikes type games and enjoyed those, of course. And now with running this YouTube channel, I wanted to venture back into the arcade realm. And I feel like these games both add a really good fun, relaxed playability to them. I feel like I don't play Sim that much anymore. I really don't. I maybe play it once, maybe twice a week, and I used to be pretty good at it, but I obviously played it a lot too. And when I pick up Sim now, I hate to say it, but it kind of feels like it's a chore almost. I still really love playing it, but because I'm not as good at it anymore, I almost have to pick it up for an extended period of time just to be able to play it decently enough to do a video in, which I still enjoy doing. I'm not hating on Sim and saying I won't do those videos anymore, but these games are fun because I haven't played this game in a week and a half. I picked it up and I feel like I can still compete on all-time mode and win races and attack the tracks the way they should be attacked. And that's what I look for in an arcade game. Some people don't. Some people say, give me realism or give me death, apparently, But that's your prerogative. That's why there's the simulation video games out there. Granted, they're for PC only, and you kind of have to buy a pretty good computer to run them. But if you're looking for a more realistic motocross game, these ones aren't necessarily going to provide you with that. Graphically, they're much better. And I would say replayability, probably better as well. But realism, nah. This track, I don't know if I've played this track before. I forget what the name of this track was, but this looks brand new to me. Ooh. That's not a good line right there. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this track before at all. Cool. A new track for me, and perhaps a new track for the viewers. A roller before the finish line. Oh, X-Brand goggles. Oh, the choice of champions everywhere jumping out in front of me. Well, this is a pretty fun track. I like it. I like what I see that's coming up here at the end of the track that I saw on the first lap of the race. It has these little jumps across the start straight by the looks of it. Yes, indeed. I love these. They used to, it used to have, Dallas Supercross had this a couple years in a row where it'd have, jumps across the start straight and then back into the turn one complex. I love that kind of a track design. I think that adds a little bit more variation, I would say, to the floor space used. And I feel like I kind of pick on, or most people I know pick on, the way that the Feld track crew designs tracks these days, because they're so cookie cutter. You just have this literally the same track over and over and over again, just like cut and paste sections, and they don't try to reinvent anything. They don't do like cool new obstacles. It's the same dragon's backs, the same loop sections, the same rhythm sections. They're just copy and paste it to another stadium most of the time. And yes, the track layout itself is different, but I wish that they would kind of reinvent it a little bit, you know, make some kind of peakier sections, bring more dirt into the stadium so that there's, you know, raised sections even. Like you have a couple rhythm jumps in a row where they're, you know, 5-6 feet above the floor space, and then you drop back down. And, you know, of course, asking Feld to spend money is never going to happen, but I wish that they would kind of work on that a little bit more and create a little bit cooler track designs for us. Because some of them have been kind of bleh lately in Supercross. Around the corner. I didn't triple it. That's right. Treat this like a loop section on the way out. Triple this. Double, and then triple into the corner. Nice. Smooth as silk. And then come to the finish line. 6-second victory. Cruising. I'm going to try to get through 5 of these rounds, so we have 4 to do in the next video. And I think it's going to be quite easy at the rate I am going. So we are headed to Toronto. Another track that's no longer, another city, I should say, that's no longer on the Supercross circuit, which is a bit of a bummer. I've always heard Toronto was a good round to go to. I never went personally, but if it came back, I might go. I've been very close to Toronto before, having gone to Niagara Falls, IRL. And it seems like a pretty beautiful location of the world over there. But again, like I said, riders and teams and everybody I've ever talked to said Toronto was a pretty fun city to go to, but I suppose that the reason they took it off the schedule was just for issues dealing with visas and passports crossing out of the country, which I think is silly. These guys are professional athletes. They should have, you know, teams of people to help them get this accomplished. But then you had the Martin Davalos situation a couple years ago when he was leading the points and was unable to cross the border into Canada because of some immigration issue, which sucks. But again, it seems like that these guys should have it handled. I mean, they're professional athletes. All the GP guys travel to 19 or 18 different countries during a year and seemingly don't have many issues. So, I don't know. I think that they should go back to Toronto. But I don't make the decisions. I just sit here and yell at them about decisions. And, you know, that doesn't really make any difference. Sound very Kimi Räikkönen-ish right there, saying like, yeah, we could talk about these things, but we don't make the decisions, so what does it matter? And these guys are tough. They go north of the border, they find a couple steroids on the track, and they go for it, man. It's not easy to beat these guys here. Who's leading this thing? Brayton? Looks like a guy in fly gear on a Honda. And I know who I created and how, so I'd imagine that's got to be Brayton, because I can't remember anybody else I made in fly gear on a Honda. Oh, tripling in. Ah. Oh. That just killed all my momentum, and I'm not going to be able to triple out. Jeez, Marvin going a bit long there, dude. Landing the flat. Oh, come on, come on. And quad up into the corner. Oh, it's stretched. Coming up a bit short there. How about quad up onto the tabletop here? Nope. Crunch, crunch, and then we go. Alright, gotta run down the Cooper Scooper. The Webmaster. Man, I have just made an absolute dog's dinner of that rhythm section. Every single lap I've gone through it. Oh, okay. I see how we're gonna play it. You're gonna run me all the way to the outside of the track, are ye? This isn't going to be good. This is going to be the first time I finish off the podium in my 250 SX career in this game, unless these guys all yard sale into each other in the last straightaway. But somehow I don't see that happening. Although it looks like I might get Webb here. Final corner. Ah, he pushed me wide. Come on. Come on. Oh, the freaking double out I didn't get. Pike got me. All right, 6 is not a good score here. I wonder if I'm still leading the championship. I should be. Yes, I am, by 5 points over Marvin Musquin. All right, next up, St. Louis, which has a rather interesting track design. I don't think that this one would be a good track design IRL. Just because the little kind of skewed corner mess thing that they do on this track, I feel like takes up too much space of the floor. But I guess you can probably make your own decisions off that. Oh my, almost quadded in. Getting a little James Stewart-esque frisky off of that first straightaway. Oh, didn't know what I was about to hit right there. And then Supercross triple. Like, yeah, this is cool, like a little switchback section. But then I just feel like this whole back section just takes up way too much floor space, and they would probably never entertain this because it really limits the length of the lap time as well. I mean, maybe you can add an extra lane in the middle of the floor here to juxtapose the reasoning for that being there, but I mean, that first lap alone just took me 36 seconds to complete. That's a little ludicrous. Luda. Oh, a little short. Triple, and then facing the Supercross triple. Oh boy, I'm gonna go down. Oh, okay, well then. That race tech suspension soaking up that landing like a charm, although it definitely sounded like I crunched it pretty good. All right, yeah, this one's gonna be what, 40-second lap time? That's ridiculous. Way too short. Got ambitious, wanted to try to quad in out of the corner. I got a healthy lead though, so we're good. I can try to do experimental things, like maybe I can quad in here now. Nope, of course I won't. And now I'm gonna go for the Supercross triple and frame it again. And again, it just soaks it up, no problemo. Probably don't have wrists anymore. Those are probably toast. My ankles are probably in half, but we're good. Race X suspension working beautifully on that landing gear. All right, coming into the final corner, 5 rounds deep, 4 to go in the championship, and I am cruising on all-time mode to victory here, as it seems these guys have nothing for me except for in Toronto. So thanks for watching another video here on the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will come up with part 2 of the series in probably about a week's time, and we will see you guys then. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.